And today we're going to be talking about transporting firearms.
Thanks very much, Jay. It's really important that people understand the legal aspects of transporting firearms. It's very important that you do something you know what the law is and do it properly to avoid any potential difficulty with the law. Basically, in 1984, the National Congress passed legislation to protect people transporting firearms across state lines. And essentially what the law says is that as long as you're legal with the firearms you have at your point of origin and you're legal where your destination is, you can transport through other states that have legislation that would normally prevent you from doing that. The stipulations are that the firearms have to be in a case, locked, in ideally a trunk or a locked container, can't be loaded, and the ammunition has to be separate from the firearm. So as long as those provisions are met, as long as the firearms are not accessible from the passenger compartment, then that they meet the requirement. You obviously couldn't have anything in your glove compartment or anything like that, and of course they can't be loaded, but that's the main requirement.
Now, let's say you're passing through a state that's not very gun-friendly. It's okay to stop for like a burger and some fries and some gasoline along the way. Is that true? Or
that seems to be the case. However, you wouldn't want to do anything more than that. I think if I were going to stay overnight, I'd find a more gun-friendly state than say, for example, New York. I'd find a state more gun-friendly, like Pennsylvania, for example, where they'd be less likely to be problems, rather than staying overnight in New York. So it'd be wise to stay. You've got to keep control of the firearms by being, in proximity of the vehicle. So if you're in a restaurant, I'd sit by the window seat, frankly, and if you're getting gas, don't go too far away from your car, and be prepared to just move on and keep on moving. If you are stopped by law enforcement and they ask you if you have firearms in the vehicle, obviously you tell them you did, but explain that they're locked away and that you're transporting in compliance with federal law.
Now, Paul, a lot of customers, I know your Massachusetts customers, are nervous to bring in guns for trades or for evaluation. What do you have to say to those customers?
Well, there's actually no problem at all transporting a firearm to New Hampshire. If you're a person who can legally possess firearms, you don't need a permit of any kind once you cross the state line. So, here again, it's not necessary to have any kind of a gun permit, irrespective of where your state of origin is, as long as you're in New Hampshire with the guns and you're not someone who's prohibited by federal law in possessing firearms. So basically there's no concern at all. You can just bring them here. Don't have them loaded or concealed unless you have a New Hampshire pistol revolver license. Do have them in a case, preferably here again in your trunk, following the same basic guidelines that I described in the national transportation law. No difficulty at all, and you just won't encounter any problems.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for filling us in on this. I know this answers a lot of questions for a lot of people. Do you have anything else that you want to add to this?
No, not really, but just that if you do want to bring your firearms from Massachusetts here to our shop for evaluation, trade, repair, or any other purpose, you're certainly welcome to do that, and you'll have no difficulty as far as New Hampshire law is concerned.